Welcome to Big Ol' Sketchbook Tour. It's been a minute. It's been a long minute. I know this. I apologize. But I'm going to try to make up for it by doing multiple sketchbooks today. You can't see them yet because I haven't put them up on screen, but you'll see them soon. But it's a little fuzzy as to like what the actual correct order is. And so we're just going to guess. And so I think the one that I have pulled up right now, I think this is the earliest of the three. And I think these three are together chronologically. I just don't know which one's which. We'll try to figure it out together. But I believe the one that I'm on at present is the one that I need to be on. So, without further ado, here goes nothing. And here we have the first of the sketchbooks. You can't see the title at the top. This says Sketchbook 5 on it. So I thought this was the latest one when I initially numbered these. But then as I went through a little bit more, I was like, I don't know. I can't tell. So we're gonna scrub through them and we're gonna see what we find. It's a lot of pictures. I'm gonna try not to linger too long on any one. I've already wasted a lot of time talking. So here's the first one. This is, it's been a long time. Lenny, no. JD, no. Lenny. Pretty sure it's Lenny. This is why I was trying to figure out, like, what does football look like, but in the future? I was watching a lot of Starship Troopers, the animated series at that time, and in that show, they show, like, a couple of the people on the squad also played football together in high school, but their version of football is like cool. I think they show it in the movie as well, actually. But it's like future football, not normal football. And so I tried to come up with my own version of that. And so naturally, I went with mech suits. I think that's pretty cool still. My thinking was you would have the driver. Can you see my cursor? You can't see my cursor. You'd have the driver in the center compartment, fully encased and safe, and then you'd have exoskeleton. Yeah, that was my thinking anyway. Still kind of like it. I guess I was trying to figure out like a new football. That's the best I can come up with here. It is unbelievable with this new setup. Like, I've changed my stream setup, and I now have like a giant stupid TV in front of me instead of like a computer monitor. And these pictures are huge. Just fun fact. All right. This is one of the things that made me think this was a later sketchbook. This and the next page. Because I happen to know that they're characters that I created. I guess I could have been like 7th or 8th grade when I initially created them. I just remember that I wrote a short story in high school about this character maybe, but definitely some of the ones on like the next couple pages. And I ended up like winning the writing contest, which is cool, like humble brag. But also then I had to read my ultra nerdy sci-fi dystopian future stupid thing to the entire freshman class. So yeah, that's this guy, I guess. But I don't know. The timeline is so fuzzy. Maybe this will all be edited differently by the time I get to the end of this. I'm not doing this live, so I can cut the sketchbooks in any order I want. I guess technically. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. I just don't know. 'Cause see this character right here. That's Cybron. Cybron, that's a character I came up with. And I have a lot of drawings of Cybron. I have some that are on like big poster paper. They're actually kind of cool. I think I still have those somewhere. I think they're in my portfolio, which is like right here. So, yeah. That's Cybron. There in the middle with the, he looks like he's made of metal and has pistons and cool eyes. Still think his eyes are cool. Basically, He used to be human and now he's a robot. Basically, General Grievous from Star Wars, I guess. I don't know. Oh my. Okay. So, I feel like I didn't put those nipples there. But they're there. We can all see them. But that feels like a thing that like a friend did to like, haha. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. Oh my. Ooh, look at all that shading. I was getting advanced. So this is definitely earlier in the timeline than one of the sketchbooks that I know for sure. So that's helpful. At least I think. I don't know. That might be the new kind of nose. I don't know. We'll get there. It's fine. Guy made out of mud. This guy, I think he's made of mud. Over the next several pages, we will see essentially like a super team that I tried to come up with that would exist within the world of Rocket Dude, I think. Well, this isn't it. This isn't part of that. That's just, I liked drawing weird mouths, I guess. This is another guy that's in Cybron, and this is what throws me off. Like, I feel like I remember drawing this in Amish country. That's a weird pull, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he has tank treads instead of legs. That's a major development in his character design. Came up with that development. I like that. There's a independent skate company, I think maybe might have been why I drew that. I don't know. No, that's another. The independent one's not like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a cross. Oof. This picture came out blurry. Should have retaken that one. I don't know. He kind of looks friendly. Got them little beady eyes. Maybe this was supposed to be Rocket Dude's pet. We'll say that's what it was. That seems like a nice thing. He's like Rocket Dude's pet, but he's chill. He looks mean, but like sweet. I don't know. I'm making all this up as I go. There he is. He doesn't look as nice there. Actually, I think maybe this might not be Rocket Dude's pet. Yeah, just trying to figure out creature designs, it looks like. The one up top there with like the long horns definitely makes me think of Star Wars Twi'lek race. So, it could have been a heavy inspiration at that time. Man, real dark lines on this one. Still trying to figure out that creature design. Definitely interesting car design. That's fun. Looks like a 3-wheel car. Yeah, that's neat. I don't remember doing that, but I actually had one of those pull into my parking lot the other day, and then the guy got out and he came into my shop, and it was pretty cool. He was a pretty cool guy, and his car was pretty neat. It didn't look like that exactly, but it was a cool car. Moving on. This skull down here at the bottom, I know this will make an appearance more because I seem to remember drawing this skull a lot. I don't know why, but I remember doing it a lot. We'll see. I don't remember where it will turn up. Sweet snowboarding tricks. This is probably around the time I was getting into snowboarding. It was short-lived relatively. Got into it in like 7th grade, and then by like sophomore year, I was done. But it was fun while it lasted. Basically, I got too scared ultimately. It was too fast. And I turned into a big baby. So, yeah, I never really moved on past the bunny hill, I guess. And whenever I tried, it was real scary. So, Cybron, again, this character, I remember utilizing a lot as a freshman in high school. But I know that one of the other books here, I was in the 7th grade. And that's like the range we're working with here, like 7th, 8th, and into freshman, maybe. Another character from the Cybron story, I know. That's why I drew him so much, because he's one of the characters. That's what he looks like from the front. The weird skull thing. Okay, now we're making sense. We're getting places. All right, there's that guy. More work on football. I believe this is where J.K. Rowling got the idea for Quidditch. So, pretty sure she saw this and yeah. Rocket Dude doesn't play the football because he would have an unfair advantage. Linny can play. So, those are big wings. I'm going to guess. The comic is here somewhere. But I'm going to guess that this was a drawing based on the fact that I was probably at this time reading the Archangel series of comics. I believe it was Archangels the Saga. And I still have all of them. And there were just really cool demon drawings in those books. It was very much about like the war between angels and demons and had some really cool art. Yeah, I still have those, and I was probably just inspired by the way they did wings. Very much, I'm gonna guess that's what. Honestly, this character design is probably super heavily inspired by that comic. Ah. Also, clearly heavily inspired by Darth Maul. That's very clear. But those nose holes. I can't tell if he has like sunken holes for eyes or if his eyes are supposed to be black. I don't remember what my original intention was, and I didn't put any eye shine on there to indicate that like there's light hitting the eye in any way. It's hard to tell. Same character playing around with posing. I think his other leg is going like straight back, so that's why you can't see it. It's hidden behind the loincloth. I've always been bad at designing clothing for characters. Rocket Dude's house? I don't know why I hesitated on the house and not the Rocket Dude when that was actually the part that I was questioning. Clearly a house. I think it's Rocket Dude's. Still playing around with giant wings. Still trying to figure out the three-wheeled car, I see. A lot of dusty bits on all these pages. This isn't my art. This is my sister's art. Shout out to Amanda. She did a lot of fashion design art around that time. She was very much into that. So, yeah, that's some art that she drew in my sketchbook. This character makes a return. His clothing has changed. He's moved on from a loincloth. He's got some sort of armored pants and some gauntlets and some shoulder pauldrons. I don't know if I'm using any of the right words for some of those armor descriptions, but I think I did. This guy is a part of Cybron. I know. I know this because he's on the poster that I talked about earlier that I'll have to find. Same. This guy with the Hitler mustache. He's got really unfortunate facial hair. And a lot of things, really. I'm feeling more confident that this sketchbook is from earlier than what I thought. So, I think we're doing these in the right order, at least at this point. Okay. You know, I wasn't really doing like studies of anatomy at this time. I was just kind of going off the dome based on things I had seen in cartoons and comics, I guess. This anatomy is not good. That is not where the nipples should be. There's just that's really the least of the concerns, but it's of the concerns, I would say. Hey, it's Lenny. Lenny? Yeah. He's still repping that spit on me. I still didn't know. So, and, yeah. I was trying to be more adventurous with clothing designs. There's Tiny. I can't remember if I've talked about Tiny before. He's definitely a car tie, and he's called Tiny because he's huge, and that's the joke. Uh, I like this guy's got some interesting armor going on. I can appreciate that. I don't know what's going on with this face. That's problematic. Ooh, we got motion lines telling us what's happening. And let's be real, not a lot is happening. So he's at the top of the building and then he jumps off, he's diving, and then he does a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't want to draw. And then he's at the corner of the frame. Okay. It's good stuff. Man, I really liked them big old teeth. Hey, it's Supernova of the car tie. Again, a lot of wasted paper. Like, what is this? And this. It's just so much empty space. Hey, this guy comes back. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out this guy's armor. And he has cool swords with radiation or something on them. I don't know. It also looks like they might have gun barrels. Like, that's what it looks like to me. I don't know. At the base of the sword, it looks a little bit like I probably put a gun barrel there because I don't know. And then his shield, that's still kind of cool. It's impractical. It would have to be spinning so fast. It's impossible. It wouldn't work. But it's still, like, in theory, pretty cool. Decent job, I would say, at indicating the spinning motion, at least on the center disc. The center disc looks like it's spinning. I don't know that any of the rest of it actually truly looks like it's spinning, but... Gothic Bob! So this helps. I'm definitely in the 8th grade because I was at the new school. This was a project that we had to do that I will also scan at some point. We had to make a little children's book. Mine was about bullying. So that's Gothic Bob. He gets bullied by jocks and cheerleaders. It's a pretty experimental book. When I find it, it plays around with color a lot. And here I was definitely trying to come up with like a very unique style with all the little creepy fingers. Yeah, I don't know. I'll find that. I'll get that uploaded eventually one day. This is just bullet effects on stuff. I still think drawing this kind of stuff is really fun. Just drawing the impact of something, essentially. Glass breaking, explosions, bullet impacts, all that kind of stuff, and stuff flying through the air. It's just fun to draw. Here's more of it. It's like some sort of railgun. I think we might have been playing Quake 2 at the time. Maybe. Had a railgun in it. Was it that? Was that one? Is that the one? I think it was Quake 2 with the railgun. Nat. This is my first time trying to come up with branding. I was drawing a lot of comics at this time. I'll also scan and upload those. But yeah, I went by, well, I told people to call me Nat. Nobody did. It's fine. It was stupid. But now I go by Nato, I guess. So, but not like really. I don't really go by Nato. Not in my real life. But like, this was my first attempt at trying to come up with like a nickname for myself as well as a name for my comics publishing. So, Nat Comics. More explosions! And I don't know what that is. Maybe like some sort of tornado vortexy thing? I'm not sure. It's intriguing. The explosions are fun. Not bad. The one top left, I would say, has the best energy. And then I think then there at the bottom, it almost looks like I drew a bullet impact, but it's like erased. I can't tell. Hey, Lenny Scott's. That's his name. So yeah, this is Lenny's robot thing, his exoskeleton, with his name on it, and he was number 15. I bet I was 15 when I drew this. Drawing some Hummers. I would guess some of these were drawn just off the dome, and then I started looking at a Hot Wheel. That would be my guess. I also might have had like a larger scale Hummer for my action figures. Crumbling building, kind of. Is that supposed to be a building in perspective? That education is coming. And the dome. So my thinking has always been with Rocket Dude that alien invasion happens, post-apocalypse, kind of, but human civilization, we band together, we managed to protect several human cities with these giant domes. I'm pretty sure this has been done in like everything, but I thought it was pretty innovative at the time because like the sky is still normal outside the dome, but when you're in the dome and you look up, the sky's red, always red. So I thought that was cool, and I was just looking forward to having the red sky stuff going on. But yeah, that's where the dome started, and the dome has carried over into Crash, which is something that I haven't gotten to yet here, but will get to. Yeah, the domes have continued. I'm trying to figure out some posing here. I clearly looked at something dealing with construction for poses, drawing some rough shapes to help figure out posing. It was starting to be taught. Ooh, crab tank. I still like crab tank. This tells me maybe I was starting to get into 3D modeling. I know that one of the first things I tried to 3D model was the crab tank. I feel like it might have been around that time, but maybe this is before that, and I had a bunch of drawings of it, and that's why I tried to model it. I don't remember. But Lieutenant James Deere. Lieutenant Dyer? I bet it was probably Dyer. Yeah. I like his goatee. But it also kind of looks like he's got like a chin strap beard, but only on one side. Pretty cool. Fingerless gloves. That's a must. Yeah. There's that guy's face again. I'm still workshopping it. He's got like little vents on his little pec plate. Kind of cool looking. Oh my. This, I don't know. I'm not into it, but I'm not into it. I think I just contradicted myself. But there's a lot to deal with this. I really didn't know how pectorals worked. That's become very evident. Oh no, Lieutenant Dyer, you've been stabbed by that thing. Clearly it's gun barrels. I bet the bullet splits on the way out. That was probably why it looks like the barrel's like on either side of the blade. That's kind of cool, maybe, if that's what I was thinking. I don't remember. But yeah, it looks like this guy not having a good day. Motorcycle. And I don't know what the other thing is. And I traced the ruler that was in my day planner. We had the stupid, I don't even remember what they were called now. The agenda? Was it the agenda? We had to carry it around everywhere. We had to like, we were supposed to. I didn't ever used it. We were supposed to use it for like writing down due dates of assignments and all that kind of stuff. And you can see that instead I just traced the ruler. It's a good ruler, solid. I had clearly made at least an observation about cats and how they work, but I didn't make the observation all the way. Because cats' shoulder blades really do kind of like pop up there quite a bit. Yeah. But that's not accurate. But like, observations were being made and trying to be implemented. I don't know if that sentence was right. That's the last page. That's one sketchbook down. Did you look at that? All right. Moving on to the next one. I believe this is the next sketchbook. I did a little bit of scrubbing and looking. We'll see. If it is, then like I nailed its placement between the other two, but the other two I flipped in my numbering. And so I got them kind of like exactly backwards in order when I numbered them originally. But I think we're on the right track right now. So this one still has its original cover. Like, what? That's crazy. So yeah, I went ahead and took a picture of it. Why not? Let's celebrate our victories. I don't remember what this robot's name is. I'm sure I'll find it when I get to my comics. I know I've talked about him in previous sketchbooks, clearly based on Bender from Futurama, at least in his face. But I like his spider legs. That's fun. And it looks like he has some sort of flamethrower device or something. Yeah. A mounted turret. I think maybe that's supposed to be the turret on top of Rocket Dude's house. It also bears a striking resemblance to the turrets that are on the ship from Treasure Planet. That they like sit in and ride and they're like beside the turret. That's pretty cool. Good movie. You should watch it. And then the thing that looks like a leech down there at the bottom, I'm going to guess that's based on the barnacles from Half-Life. I didn't know they were called barnacles at this time, but I think that's what it is. Okay, we got ourselves a big mountain. It's real hard to see. This picture did not turn out good. But I think it's in a big mountain, maybe like almost like an anthill kind of looking structure. And yeah, it's maybe this is where the Kartai come from. That's like their queen, and they feed it something, and it spits out babies, just like humans. This is a Kartai city, I'm gonna guess. You'll notice the entire city is not protected by a dome, but one building is. And that's because the Kartai are rude. There are, it looks like, 3 moons in the sky. At least 2. And one of them looks like it's laughing. And I kind of really like the way that moon looks. And yeah, it looks like they have a little, a Rancor down there under the city. And whenever I think alien technology, I just think rounded, apparently. Seems to be a recurring theme. So all of these buildings are rounded. Another Kartai ninja thing, looks like. Yeah. He has a Star Trek logo on his chest. Hey, look, the nipples are getting closer to where they should be. That's exciting. Hey, it's Lenny's robot thing again. But then Mech Warrior inspiration came into play, because down below we see something clearly based on a Mad Cat, but not completely, but clearly, and it apparently shoots a football and has a net. My goodness. Okay. Oh, different sort of exoskeleton here. Actually an exoskeleton. That's interesting. Seems like a terrible idea to let high school students use something like that. All of these are terrible ideas for high school students, I guess, but I was a high school student, thought it seemed pretty cool. Um, there's definitely inspiration from a Beast Wars figure here. I recognize the legs. I don't have the figure anymore to show you, but I do recognize them. Ooh, okay. Maybe this is the part where the super team comes in? I think it is. Because I was trying to develop a new style. I think I might have been introduced to Umberto Ramos at that time. One of my very favorite artists. I have an action figure based on his specific design of the Green Goblin that I'm a big fan of. It's worth quite a bit of money, but I won't sell it because I love it. I used to have the comic that this figure is from. I no longer have that comic, and that makes me sad. That's where the squared hands are coming from, I'm guessing. And the big exaggerated mouth as well. But then again, maybe not, because I'm doing different fingers here, so who knows? Definitely getting into the superhero stuff. So I was trying to come up with a super team that would be like in comics and movies and stuff in the Rocket Dude universe. So I was also trying to make it a different style than what I was doing with Rocket Dude. So this is Kent Clarkson, aka ... Muscle Buff Man. It actually looks like it says Muscle Man Buff. Because I didn't understand the order of operations when it came to that. But yeah, Muscle Buff Man. I remember designing this character, and then I remember being really upset when the company that made the game Splosion Man and Miss Splosion Man made a game called Comic Jumper. And in that game, it was just a big buff dude with a smiley face for a face. They stole Muscle Buff Man from me. I don't know. Just ideas, I guess. I like the cape. The cape's fun. More motion line stuff happening on. Some parkour before parkour was cool. An alien and a shady character. I must have just watched Legend. Those horns are very legendy. There's a lot here. The what look like alien eyes with just terrible eye bags. Those are fun. And then at the very bottom, that thing is unfortunate. I don't know what that is. Okay. So I like it. It's not bad. It's just iguana mixed with something without legs and insect wings. It's interesting. I don't know. I like it, but it's weird. It feels like this might also have a little bit of Beast Wars inspiration going on. I think that largely because of the wing. That makes me think of Waspinator's wing from the original toy. Super into Beast Wars. Water splashing, always cool. Not the best I'll ever do at it, I'm hoping, but still fun to draw. Trying to draw the Lizard Man thing again. Not as good. Different expressions didn't work as well. I also recognize some qualities of the Lizard Man coming from a T-Rex that I had copied from a copy of Highlights magazine, I think. And it was something that had like won an art contest in that magazine, and so they featured it in the magazine. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. And so I like tried to draw it from the little tiny picture in the magazine and make it full size. And I believe my grandma still has that drawing hung up on her fridge. Um, Pretty sure. So maybe one day that will make it into one of these. Oh, there's the man on fire there also. Definitely one of the super team within the Rocket Dude universe. I designed the character from Bob's Burgers, Tina. You can see that there. Uh, I got better at drawing eyes from the side, but that's about it. Oof. Okay, so we're getting close to, I'm pretty sure, a mindset that I can remember. This puts me in a time. I had maybe just had some trouble at school involving a journal, and so we went to like a Walden Books in the mall or something like that, and I was looking at books, and I remember at the same time that I found this journal that I ended up getting, I found this book about making comics that talked about making like crazy panels and stuff like that, and had all these like radical panel designs in it, and it was awful, honestly, but like I thought it was awesome at the time. Um, and then I ended up getting a journal at the same time that also had some interesting stuff going on with like comic panels inside of it. Um, it was thematic, it was cooler, but that's a whole nother story. And half of you that are gonna see this probably already know it if you know me. So, um, I think we're about to get into some weird comic panel stuff. Robot side profile, probably. Yeah, there it is. So, I definitely drew the panels and then drew the action. And this is the kind of stuff that was happening in that book as well. And you can see that I even had to like number the panels because it was impossible to tell what order to read them in. Actually, it's really not. Looking at it, like it's kind of makes sense. If you read enough comics, it's not that hard to get to where it's going. But yeah, it looks like an airplane dropping a nuke onto a little island. And then, yeah, that's it. I can't tell if there's anything special happening at the very last panel there. I can't tell. Another one. These are supposed to be panels on a comic book page. Why? But this is the kind of stuff they were doing like in the early 2000s and late 90s. It's awful. Butterfly? This is for another one of the characters from the super team. I really do like some of the little effects going on there. Some cool stuff. It's supposed to be like he's holding a fireball. Almost definitely based on some Beast Wars figures. Waspinator in particular. His transmetal form. That would be my guess. Well, there's a lot going on here. Decent scar rendering. The chunk in his head is upsetting. So much wasted paper. Bullet impacts, I guess. I drew a lot of bullet impacts. These will return. More house designs. Okay. It's sun something. Rising or setting. One or the other. Beautiful scenery. Here we go. Here's more of the super team designs. There's like the Molten Man and maybe a girl with a blindfold and a guy that's really angular. And a guy with a pill-shaped head. Atomic Man. So these are all part of Muscle Buff Man's like team. Sticky Man. I was not expecting that to be the name of that one. Oh man. Gross. I don't like that. Management Man. this is also the kind of stuff that I still like to come up with. It's just terrible superheroes. I don't know. I think it's funny. Torche. Oh, he's made of fire. Frostbite. That one's not funny. He's just made of ice, it looks like. That one's a mystery. We'll never know. Oh, nope. It was Cloak. I just didn't like the way I drew him. Wait, maybe it's Chameleon. I think his name is Cloak. And Chameleon is a descriptor of his powers. So shapeshifter. That's what I was looking for at that time. I do like the effect of the smoke leaving the hood. That's kind of cool. That's about all it's got going for it, really. I think this was supposed to be like the base of the superheroes. Uh, there's some interesting stuff happening with these shapes. Yeah, I'm not into it. Another sunset or sunrise. Really was into that effect, or at least trying to figure it out, was workshopping it. Whoa. Just a lot of random stuff on this one. Is it supposed to be the Cowardly Lion, maybe? Definitely a hover car. I kind of like that hover car shape. That could be worked on and still do something cool. The robot guy's up there, and a rocket plume, it looks like. More bullet effects. I had seen The Matrix by now, so that's what that's about. The Matrix was my first R-rated movie. Oh, just hands. Very square. Very pointy. Ooh. Trying to change up Rocket Dude's look. Trying to get him away from his very obvious inspiration. Clearly, I played Crash Bandicoot. I saw Dr. Injin, and he gets a rocket in his head, and then it like puts plates on his face and stuff. 100% stolen. Like, just that's what I did when I was a kid. So I was trying to get away from that a little bit, unknowingly, actually making it a little bit more like his design by taking it towards a skull. So yeah. But yeah, there's Rocket Dude's newest look, just straight down the middle. And he actually has like a robot eye now, and movable eyebrows, and fangs for some reason. Now, I could be wrong, again, and I know I've said this like multiple times for multiple drawings, but I don't think I did this one. I do think this was my friend Kevin, but I could be wrong. This looks like me more. It doesn't like look like me, but like it looks like I might have did it more. Just trying to figure stuff out. He's got interesting eyebrows. Ooh, and an interesting mouth. He looks so sad. I don't know. Oh, trying to change up the logo for my comics. Still trying to work with Nat. But then we got Imagine. We got Truth with the cross. I like the Imagine with like the really bad kids drawing of a house. That's interesting. The Truth, that's like the most derivative logo. Like that gets used so much. And Nat, yeah, I was really trying to figure out Nat, but I was going in weird places. The one at the top there is the one that I actually ended up using for a good long while. The logo for RD, Rocket Dude. I don't know why it looks the way it does. It's because in like the original Rocket Dude story, which was like on full size just printer paper, or maybe that might be on lined notebook paper. But I'm pretty sure in that it was just a big R and a big D. they had like interesting places for their placement of, I don't know. It wasn't good. I'll get that uploaded eventually. Cybron, I had named that character apparently. So that tells me we're getting close to my freshman year of high school. The timing on all these is just I can't figure it out. I like that C has a good 3D feel to it. I don't like the RD at all. And the G, it's fine. Oh, and this is the last page of this book. Cool. On to the next one. Here we are at the insert number sketchbook. But I know at this point I had acquired. Where are you at? This book, Drawing Cutting Edge Comics by Christopher Hart. I got this book, I believe. I know I was hanging out with my grandparents and my parents. I don't remember which one of them bought it for me. I'm sorry. But I consumed this book like no other. It is ragged on the corners. It's all chewed up around the edges. I have consumed this book. I love this book. But I learned a lot from it. It teaches you about anatomy. It teaches you about how to draw faces. It teaches you about perspective and facial expressions and different body types and hands and feet and muscles and what their names are and how they interact with each other. This book rocked when I was 13 years old. And it still rocks. Like, honestly, it still rocks. It's good. It's a good book. And then there's also Drawing Cutting Edge Anatomy, which is just like the anatomy section of this book taken to 11. And then I'm sure I'll talk about other art books in the future. But this sketchbook in particular is heavily influenced by that book. So the perspective here happened while I was at my grandparents', having just purchased this book. These were some of the early exercises. That may not have been. This is just me playing with a circle thing that has, yeah. This is drawn from that book, doing the method that they propose for how to draw a head. This is perspective drawing based on that book. This is supposed to be Rocket Dude's bedroom. So he's got Muscle Buff Man poster in the background there. I wanted my bedroom to look like this. The flames along the bottom of the wall. These walls would be red. The flames would be black. Rollerblades hanging on the wall. Man, Rocket Dude was the coolest. Mutant wolf dog thing. This is probably also somehow from that book. This is definitely based on that book. Me trying to apply the methods that that book proposed for how to draw a head, like a human face, trying to apply its methodology to how I was drawing my car tie and clean them up. It led to a few interesting changes, like the little like nubs that stick out there. Those are kind of new, but really it pretty much stays the same. This is this Lieutenant Dyer? Colonel? Is this that guy? I think it is. But see, doesn't this look like more developed than the last thing that I did of him? I don't know what order these are in. This... I really loved putting flames on things. This is a haircut of its era, for sure. The little, like, buzz cut with bangs. What a look. Clearly using the style from the book, but not doing it well. I didn't learn all the lessons. And then, I don't know who this is. I think this might be, like, Rocket Dude's dad or Linny's dad, maybe? Oof. This was supposed to be Rocket Dude's sister. drawing females is difficult as a male, and it took me a long time to get comfortable doing so, and I'm not there here. That's for sure. Uh, that is, it's just, it's not bad. It's honestly, it's not bad, but apparently I didn't like it at the time. Hey, there's Rocket Dude. He's got his new rocket arm now. That's all upgraded. So I feel like I went in the right direction still. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, there's Rocket Dude. He's got wrinkles in his clothes now. He's cool, real cool. Uh, I loved designing shirts for Rocket Dude. Um, and yeah, his new arm is more complex at least. Here's this guy that I don't remember his name. We can see that I drew his earlier form below before doing the redesign in the new, more advanced style, but I don't remember his name. This is supposed to be Rocket Dude's mom, I think. Or Lenny's mom. There's Rocket Dude's sister. This honestly doesn't look like that much different than the last one. I wonder if I just couldn't erase the jawline enough. Because that was the big thing. The jawline on the other one was too square. This one has more of a feminine curve to the jawline. I'm going to guess that's why I was okay with this one. There's still so much wrong, but it gets better eventually. Oof, not here it doesn't. My goodness. I don't know what this fashion is. Or why she has such a long face. This is supposed to be Lanny's house, I think. It's supposed to be like the tower thing at the place. Drawn guns, these are definitely based on toy guns that I had for my action figures. It's Supernova. We're back to having centered nipples. We've learned nothing. This is the new upgraded version of them. You can see for illustration purposes I drew what it used to look like and what it looks like now. Quite an upgrade. He's got like a weird gun arm. That's fun. Or maybe a needle arm? I don't know what's happening there. I don't know why it's shining. It's Lenny. He's about to shoot a laser. Yeah, there's Lenny. About to shoot a laser. Oof. 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 It's like I started at the head and I just made my way down and it just not good. Just nothing, not a lot of positive to say about what's happening here. We're learning, we're growing. Again, it's one of the dads. Funny enough, this kind of looks a lot like a friend of mine now. So, I won't call him out, but not entirely dissimilar in appearance. Trying to maybe adjust the Bender robot guy to be less like Bender, plus some other just experimental stuff. I don't know. This character, I don't know. I don't remember why I developed him. Like I know maybe I had just been introduced to the lizard as a character, or maybe Jekyll and Hyde even. I don't know. But he's supposed to basically, he injects himself with animal DNA and he becomes a monster. And this is one attempt at what that monster might look like. It's not good. Still trying to figure it out. It's not good. Oof. Mid-transformation. It looks almost like he's got holes in his belly that go all the way, you can see his spine, as if there are no guts inside. It's odd. Okay. He becomes more reptilian here. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a sequence of events. I don't know if that's what I was thinking or if I was just different ideas trying to brainstorm. We're back to guns. The Hopper. That one is 100% drawn from a G.I. Joe gun that I had. 100%. In fact, the couple below it are probably the 100% copied. So the one that's all colored in and looks okay, I made minor adjustments, but the toy actually had the little scope on it as well. So you can see where I traced its shape on the paper. It's a dragon with a robot arm. Still trying to figure out the proportions on this guy. And a weird crooked face. And a shadow block in. Or Z. Depends on your perspective. Mouths, for some reason. It's JD, I think. He throws energy balls, and he's all about harmony. It's another gun tracing copy attempt. Still trying to figure this guy out. Man, I was really trying to figure this guy out. And I really liked the idea of the dead arm that's too big for him to carry, so it just like drags the ground. Huh. There's his big head. Very shiny head. There he is as a monster. Ooh, I don't like his tongue. Or his neck. I really wanted to figure out this character. I don't remember why I was so obsessed. Hey, we're back to trying to figure out Rocket Dude. That's rough. It's like I had never seen a skull before. Just shading practice, I guess. Big old drawn a supernova with a lot of drool. I'm into it. I'm not into it, you know? It's kind of cool. Oof. I believe this was me trying to figure out what poses I was going to use for like a big drawing. And when I say big, I mean like it was maybe like twice the size of like 11 by 17. Yeah, 11 by 17 size. So like the front is definitely Rocket Dude, and then there's Lenny beside him with the 3 fingers, and he's about to shoot the laser. And then there's also Lenny jumping over the top with the 3 fingers. That's confusing. And then there's somebody diving at the bottom, and an upset Rocket Dude in a little panel down there to the bottom left. Big mouths. Still trying to figure this guy out. Like he's punching the ground for some reason, real mad. My goodness. I was not expecting half of this book to be dedicated to this character that I don't remember. The anatomy is much better here. Clearly the book has helped. Like, the shape of some of these muscles is a little more accurate. The proportions are more accurate. Not great, but like better. Big mouth. Firmly in the 8th grade. I remember doing this in English class. We had to write a poem. I like cheese. It makes me sneeze. It tastes so good. It's yellow and pretty and full of holes. There are many different flavors, such as green and Swiss. My favorite is Colby. I love cheese. That's pretty good. That's Cheetor from Beast Machines, the terrible, offensive and upsetting follow-up to Beast Wars. But the design of Cheetor was kind of cool, so I did some drawings of that. Trying to figure out clothing. Extreme. Muscle buff man. More detailed pants. Threw the book out the window. Said, I don't need anatomy. I'll make it up. This is ridiculous. Hey, it's JD, I think, based on the hair. Really big distance between his nose and mouth. Some proportions definitely off there. love the fist going through the presumably like plastic or glass head. Looks like I was trying to design some sort of sneaky robot people that had very fragile heads. Still trying to figure out muscle anatomy, better nipple placement. Oh, I wasn't expecting the kill. There's Muscle Buff Man. Man, that's a terrible logo, too. Wow. Is he just not wearing a shirt? I don't think he's wearing a shirt. He just has it, like, tattooed on his chest, maybe. Oh, good. That's the last page. That's what we leave it on. Interesting. So, thank you for your support during this time that I haven't been producing content, and I apologize. Your support has actually helped me out a lot, even though I haven't been holding up my end of the bargain. So I'm working on that. Hopefully this helps. 3 sketchbooks. I think I did them in the right order, actually. Thank you again. I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully the next one will come much sooner. So I'll see you next time. So I like it. It's not bad.